Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have been reading from the Adi Lila, chapter 12, and we are literally on the last verse of chapter 12. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yat kripatamham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam, Paramananda Madhavam, Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram, Hari Om Tat Sat. So the last verse of chapter 12, verse 96 goes like this. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrit Kahe Krishna Dasa. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit following in their footsteps. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit Adi Lila 12th chapter describing the expansions of Advaitacharya and Gadadhar Pandit. And now we begin chapter 13, the advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The 13th chapter describes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. The entire Adi Lila describes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's household life, and similarly the Anta Lila describes his life in the sannyas order. Within the Lord's Anta Lila, the first 6 years of his life, sannyas life, are called the Madhya Lila. During this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu toured southern India, went to Vrindavan, returned from Vrindavan and preached the Sankirtan movement. A learned Brahmana named Upendra Mishra, who resided in the district of Srihatta, was the father of Jagannath Mishra, who came to Navadvip to study under the direction of Nilambar Chakravarti. And we know Nilambar Chakravarti was the maternal grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then settled there after marrying Nilambar Chakravarti's daughter, Shachi Devi. Sri Shachi Devi gave birth to 8 children, all daughters, who died one after another immediately after birth. After her 9th pregnancy, she gave birth to a son who was named Vishwarup. Then in 1407 Shaka era, which is AD 1486, in the full moon evening of the month of Falgun, with the constellation of Simha, which is Leo, on the horizon, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as the son of Sri Shachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra. After hearing the birth of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, learned scholars and brahmanas bringing many gifts came to see the newborn baby. Nilambar Chakravarti, who was a great astrologer, immediately prepared a horoscope, and by astrological calculation he saw that the child was a great personality. This chapter describes the symptoms of this great personality. So let's begin this chapter. Verse number 1. Sa prasidatu Chaitanya Devo Yasya Prasadatah Talalila Varnane Yogyah Sadyah Syad Adhamo Api Ayam. I wish the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even one who is fallen can describe the pastimes of the Lord. Purport. To describe Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Sri Krishna, one needs supernatural power, which is the grace and mercy of the Lord. Without the grace and mercy, one cannot compose transcendental literature. By dint the grace of the Lord, however, even one who is unfit for a literary career can describe wonderful transcendental topics. Description of Krishna is possible for one who is empowered. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tar Pravartana. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Anta Lila 7.11. Unless endowed with the mercy of the Lord, one cannot preach of the Lord's name, fame, qualities, form, entourage, and so on. It should be concluded, therefore, that the writing of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami manifests specific mercy bestowed upon the author. Although he thought of himself as the most fallen, we should not consider him fallen, because he describes himself as such. Rather, anyone who is able to compose such transcendental literature is our esteemed master. Verse number 2. Jai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Chandra Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Jai Nityananda. All glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Advaita Chandra. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Verse number 3. Jai Jai Gadadhar Jai Srinivas Jai Mukund Vasudev Jai Haridas. All glories to Gadadhar Pandit. All glories to Srivas Thakur. All glories to Mukunda Prabhu and Vasudev Prabhu. All glories to Haridas Thakur. Verse number 4. Jai Damodar Swarup Jai Murari Gupta Ay Sabha Chandroday Tamaha Kaila Lupta. All glories to Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta. All these brilliant moons have together dissipated the darkness of this material world. Verse number 5. Jai Shri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandra Gana Sabar Prema Jyotsanya Jyotsnaya Ujjwala Tri Bhuvana. All glories to the moons who are devotees of the principal moon, Lord Chaitanya Chandra. Their bright moonshine illuminates the entire universe. Purport. In this verse, we find the moon described as Chandragana, which is plural in number. This indicates that there are many moons. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.21, the Lord says, Nakshatranam aham shashi. Among the stars, I am the moon. All the stars are like the moon. Western astronomers consider the stars to be the suns, but Vedic astronomers following the Vedic scriptures consider them moons. The sun has the ability to shine powerfully, and the moons reflect the sunshine and therefore look brilliant. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna is described to be like the sun. The supreme powerful is the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna or Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his devotees are also bright and illuminating because they reflect the supreme sun. The Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22.31 states, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar, yaha Krishna taha nahi mayara adhikar. Krishna is bright like the sun. As soon as the sun appears, there is no question of darkness of nations. Similarly, the present verse also describes that by the illumination of all the moons brightened by the reflection of the Krishna sun, or by the grace of all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the entire world will be illuminated despite the darkness of Kali Yuga. Only the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga, the ignorance of the population of this age. No one else can do so. We therefore wish that all the devotees of Krishna consciousness movement may reflect the supreme sun and thus dissipate the darkness of the entire world. Verse number 6. Aita kahila grantharambhe mukta bandha ebe kahi chaitanya lila krama anubandha. Thus I have spoken the preface of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now I shall describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes in the chronological order. Verse number 7. Prathame ta sutra rupe kariye ganana pachane taha vistari kariba vivarana. First, let me give a synopsis of the Lord's pastimes, then I shall describe them in detail. Verse number 8. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Navadvipe Avatari Ata Chalisha Vatsara Prakata Vihari. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, adventing himself in Navadvip, was visible for 48 years, enjoying his pastimes. Verse number 9. Chauda Satta Sata Shake Janmera Pramana Chauda Shatta Panchane Haila Antardhan. In the year 1407 of the Shaka era, AD 1486, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and in the year 1455 AD 1534 he disappeared from this world. Verse number 10. Chabisa Vatsara Prabhu Kaila Grihavasa Nirantara Kaila Krishna Kirtana Vilasa. For 24 years, Lord Chaitanya lived in the Grihastha Ashram household life, always engaging in the pastimes of the Hare Krishna movement. Verse number 11. Chabisa Vatsara Sheshe Kariya Sanyas Ara Chabisha Vatsara Kaila Nilachalevas. After 24 years, he accepted the renounced order of life sannyas, and he resided for 24 years more at Jagannath Puri. Verse number 12. Tara Madhye Chaya Vatsara Gamana Gamana Kabhu Dakshina Kabhu Gauda Kabho Vrindavana. Of these last 24 years, he spent the first 6 continually touring India, sometimes in South, sometimes in Bengal, and sometimes in Vrindavan. Verse number 13. Ashtadasha Vatsara Rahila Nilachale Krishna Prema Namamrite Bhashaila Sakale. For the remaining 18 years, he continuously stayed in Jagannath Puri, chanting the nectarian Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He inundated everyone there in a flood of love of Krishna. Verse number 14. Garhaste Prabhura Lila Adi Lila Khyana Madhya Ante Lila Shesha Lilar Dui Nama. The pastimes of his household life are known as the Adi Lila or the original pastimes. His later pastimes are known as the Madhya Lila and Ante Lila or the middle and the final pastimes. Verse 15. Adi Lila Madhya Prabhura Yateka Charita Sutra Rupe Murari Gupta Karila Grahita. All the pastimes enacted by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Adi Lila were recorded in summary form by Murari Gupta. Verse 16. Prabhura ye Shesha Lila Swarupa Damodar Sutra Kari Granthilena Granthera Bhitara. His later pastimes, the Madhya Lila and Ante Lila, were recorded in the form of notes by his secretary Swarup Damodar Goswami and thus kept within a book. Verse number 17. Edui Janera Sutra Dekhiya Suniya Varnana Karena Vaishnav Krama Ye Kariya. By seeing and hearing the notes recorded by these two great personalities of Vaishnava, a devotee of the Lord can know these pastimes one after the other. Verse number 18. Balya Poganda Keshor Yavana Chari Bheda Ataiv Adi Khande Lila Chari Bheda. In his original pastimes, there are 4 divisions: Balya, Poganda, Kaishor, and Yavana, childhood, early boyhood, later boyhood, and youth. Verse 19. Sarva Sad Shadguna Purnam Tam Vande Falguna Purnimam Yasyam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Avartri Naha Krishna Namabhihi. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the full moon evening in the month of Falgun, an auspicious time full of auspicious symptoms. Then Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself with the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna. Verse number 20. Falguna Purnima Sandhyaya Prabhura Janmoday Se Kale Daiva Yoge Chandra Grahan Haya. On the full moon evening of the month of Falgun, when Lord took birth, coincidentally there was also a lunar eclipse. Verse 21. Hari Hari Bale Loka Harshita Hana Janmila Chaitanya Prabhu Nama Janmaya. In the jubilation, everyone was chanting the holy name of the Lord Hari Hari, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then appeared after first causing the appearance of the holy name. Verse 22. Janma Bale Poganda Keshore Yuvakale Hari Nam Laoyela Prabhu Nana Chale. At his birth, in his childhood, and in his early and later boyhood, as well as in his youth, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, under different pleas, induced people to chant the holy name of the Hari, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Verse number 23. Balya Bhave Chale Prabhu Karena Krandan Krishna Hari Nam Shuni Rahaye Rodana. In his childhood, when the Lord was crying, he would stop immediately upon hearing the holy names of Krishna and Hari. Verse 24. Ataiv Hari Hari Bale Nari Gana Dekhite Aise Yeva Sarva Bandhu Janam. All the friendly ladies who came to see the child would chant the holy names Hari Hari as soon as the child would cry. Verse 25. Gaura Hari Bali Tare Hase Sarvanari Ataiv Haila Tandra Nam Gaura Hari. When all the ladies saw this one, they enjoyed laughing and called the Lord Gaura Hari, From then on, Gaurahari became another of his names. Verse 26, Balya Vaisa Yavat Hate Khadi Dila Poganda Vayasa Yavat Vivaha Na Kaila. His childhood lasted until the date of the Hate Khadi, the beginning of his education, and his age from the end of his childhood and until he married is called Poganda. Vivaha Kaile Haila Navina Yovana Sarvatra Lauyela Prabhu Nam Sankirtan. After his marriage, his youth began, and in his youth he induced everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra anywhere and everywhere. Verse number 28. Excuse me. Poganda Vayase Padena Padana Shishya Gane Sarvatra Karena Krishna Namera Vyakhyane. During his Poganda age, he became a serious student and also taught disciples. In this way, he used to explain the holy name of Krishna everywhere. Verse number 29. Sutra Vritti Panchitika Krishnete Tatparya Shishyera Pratita Haya Prabhav Ascharya. When teaching a course in grammar, which is Vyakaran, as we know in Hindi also we call it Vyakaran, and explaining it with notes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught his disciples about the glories of Lord Krishna. All explanations culminated in Krishna, and his disciples would understand them very easily. Thus his influence was wonderful. Purport: Srila Jiva Goswami compiled a grammar in two parts named Laghu Hari Namamrita Vyakarana and Brihadhari Namamrita Vyakaran. If someone studies these two texts in Vyakaran or grammar, he learns the grammatical rules of the Sanskrit language and simultaneously learns how to become a great devotee of Lord Krishna. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, first chapter, there is a statement about the method by which Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught grammar. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the aphorisms of the grammar to the eternal like the holy name of Krishna, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedesh cha sarver aham eva vedyaha. The purport of all revealed scriptures is understanding of Krishna. Therefore, if a person explains anything that is not Krishna, he simply wastes his time laboring hard without fulfilling the aim of his life. If one simply becomes a teacher or professor of education but does not understand Krishna, it is to be understood that he is among the lowest of mankind, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Nara Dhamma Maya Yaparita Jananaha. If one does not know the essence of all revealed scriptures but still becomes a teacher, his teachings is like the disturbing braying of an ass. Verse 30. Yare dekhe tare kahe Krishna name bhasaila Navadvipa Gram. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a student, he asked whomever he met. In this way, he inundated the whole town of Navadvip with the chanting of Hare Krishna. Purport is but a part of the whole of Navadvip. Navadvip means 9 islands. These islands, which occupy an area of land estimated at 32 square miles, are surrounded by different branches of the Ganges. In all 9 of those islands of the Navadvip area, there are different places for cultivating devotional service. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23 that there are Navavidha Bhakti, 9 different activities of devotional service: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. There are different islands in the Navadvip area for the cultivation of these 9 varieties of devotional service. They are as follows: Antardvip, Simantadvip, Godrumadvip, Madhyadvip, Koladvip, Ritudvip, Jahanudvip, Modadrumadvip, Rudradvip. According to the settlement map, our ISKCON Navadvip Center is situated on the Rudradvip island. Below Rudradvip in Antardvip is Mayapur. There, Sri Jagannath Mishra, the father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to reside. In all these different islands, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a young man, used to lead his Sankirtan party. He thus inundated the entire area with the waves of love of Krishna. Verse 31. किशोर वयसे आरंभिला संकीर्तन रात्र दिने प्रेमे नृत्य संगे भक्त गण. Just prior to his youthful life, he began the Sankirtan movement. Day and night he used to dance in ecstasy with his devotees. Verse number 32. Nagare nagare brahme kirtana kariya bhasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. In the Sankirtan movement went on from one part of the town to another. As the Lord wandered everywhere performing kirtan, in this way he inundated the whole world by distributing love of Godhead. Purport. One may raise the question how all three worlds became inundated with the love of Krishna, since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed kirtan only in the Navadvip area. The answer is that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. The entire cosmic manifestation results from the Lord's first setting it in motion. Similarly, since the Sankirtan movement was first set in motion 500 years ago by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire that it spread all over the universe, the Krishna consciousness movement is continuity of the same notion. Motion is now spreading all over the world, and in this way it will gradually spread all over the universe with the spread of Krishna consciousness movement. Everyone will merge in an ocean of love of Krishna. Verse 33. Chabisha Vatsara Aiche Navadvipa Grame Lau Yela Sarvaloke Krishna Prema Name. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in the Navadvip area for 24 years, and he induced every person to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and thus merge in love of Krishna. Verse 34. Chabisha Vatsara Chila Kariya Sanyas Bhakta Gana Lana Kaila Nilachale Vas. For his remaining 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accepting the renounced order of life, stayed at Jagannath Puri with his devotees. Verse 35. Tara Madhya Nilachale Chaya Vatsara Nritya Geeta Prema Bhakti Dana Nirantara. For 6 of these 24 years of Nilachal Jagannath Puri, he distributed love of Godhead by always chanting and dancing. Verse 36. Setu Bhanda Ara Goda Vyapi Vrindavan Prema Nama Prachariya Karila Brahmana. Beginning from Cape Comorin and extending through Bengal to Vrindavan, during these 6 years he toured all of India, chanting, dancing and distributing the love of Krishna. Verse 37. A Madhya Lila Nama Lila Mukhya Dham Shesha Ashtadasha Varsha Ante Lila Nam. The activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his travels after he accepted sannyas are his principal pastimes. His activities during his remaining 18 years are called the Ante Lila, or the final portion of his pastimes. Verse 38. Tara Madhya Chaya Vatsara Bhakta Gana Sange Prema Bhakti Lauyela Nritya Geeta Range. For 6 of the 18 years he continuously stayed in Jagannath Puri. He regularly performed kirtan, inducing all the devotees to love Krishna simply by chanting and dancing. Verse 39. Dwadasha Vatsara Shesha Rahila Nilachale Premavasta Shikhaila Ashwadana Chale. For the remaining 12 years he stayed in Jagannath Puri. He taught everyone how to taste the transcendental mellow ecstasy of love of Krishna by tasting it himself. Purport. A person who is advanced in Krishna consciousness always feels separation from Krishna, because such a feeling of separation excels the feelings of meeting Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his last 12 years of existence within the world at Jagannath Puri, taught the people of the world how, with a feeling of separation, one can develop his dormant love of Krishna. Such feelings of separation or meeting with Krishna are different stages of love of Godhead. These feelings develop in time when a person seriously engages in devotional service. The highest stage is called Prema Bhakti, but this stage is attained by executing Sadhana Bhakti. One should not try to elevate himself artificially to the stage of Prema Bhakti without seriously following the regulative principles of Sadhana Bhakti. Prema Bhakti is a stage of relishing, whereas Sadhana Bhakti is a stage of improving in devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this cult of devotional service in full detail by practical application in his own life. It is said, therefore, Apni Achari Bhakti Shikhaimo Sabare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and in the role of a Krishna Bhakta, a devotee of Krishna, he instructed the entire world how one can execute devotional service and thus go back home, back to Godhead in due course of time. So we'll continue our reading from here onwards next time. I would like to wish everyone on Srila Prabhupada's Tirubhav Day today, and when a Vaishnav Acharya leaves the planet, it is very sad for the disciples and the followers, but it is like a culmination of his wonderful life of sadhana and of spreading of holy name and of accepting disciples and writing the literatures, Vaishnava literatures, and establishing so many temples. So we are forever indebted to Srila Prabhupada for carrying on this movement, Sankirtan movement, as it is now in the form of ISKCON, and we thank all the previous acharyas as well, and I wish you all a very blissful day ahead. Please chant and be happy like Prabhupada always said and instructed all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vaishnav Thakur ki jai.